Hello everyone. Today on Tinkering with Terrius we're going to take a look at the Neoteck digital multimeter model NTK017. This is one of the reasons I decided to buy this cheap multimeter here. It came with the alligator clips. Now they don't have shielding all the way to the ends, but this should work, make it a little bit easier for testing components with it. The user manual, the regular probes, and these regular probes look almost identical to the Proster meter that I have. The meter itself is very light. Here's something I do like. On the back here, the battery compartment is separate, which means it's easy to open it up and change out the battery. As well, the casing here doesn't cross over behind the stand. It's going to be a lot easier to take the casing off and put it back on again. The front of the meter looks very similar to the Proster meter I already have. The contours here and everything seem very similar as well. I wouldn't be surprised if this was manufactured by the same people in China as the Proster meters. This one is an NT8233D Pro. You can see it has capacitance testing. That was another reason that I decided to grab up this meter when I had a chance. The input jacks here look identical. There's the 250 milliamp max on the microamps and milliamp reading. And then the regular amperage reading is 10 amps. The switch is very firm but not too ridiculous. Now I'm a big fan of meters that have the off on both sides. I find that is very handy. If you have it hooked up in the amperage range and you want to turn it off quickly, you don't have to go through the voltage and vice versa. So I just find that a good feature. So it does look like it comes with the battery pre-installed. The battery compartment here has a threaded insert on the screw hole. Oh look, it's the exact same battery that I took apart in my second video on YouTube. That's interesting, the dial on here feels like it's spring-loaded. It likes to jump. It's very odd. This is my Proster MS8233 next to the NT8233. They're very similar in design. They both have this little kind of smile thing going on there. I like the knob on the Proster one a lot more. Their jacks are almost identical. The meters themselves nearly identical in thickness. Proster one is quite a bit heavier than the Neoteck. There are no cat ratings anywhere on the Neoteck, but in the manual here it says Cat 2 600 volt. On the left here we have the Proster multimeter. On the right we have the Neoteck. Going to compare the ohms of these two meters. We're going to be using the alligator clip leads from the Neoteck meter on both of these, so that there is no difference in the leads. We'll actually make sure that they both read them as the same resistance when they're hooked up here. As the Proster says, there is no resistance on it. Let's see what the Neoteck meter says. Same thing, 0 ohms. First up here we have a 10K resistor. All of these resistors are 0.1% resistors. So the first thing, these alligator clips are very, very stiff. And the Proster meter is reading it at about 9.6. See what the Neoteck says. Neoteck's saying about 9.9 to 10.1. Now we'll go to the 100K resistor. The Neoteck is reading it as almost exactly 100 ohms. It's 100/99.9. Go to the 1K resistor. So the Proster meter there says about 1K. So the Neoteck is saying 0.998. Now we have the 10K resistor. So the Neoteck says exactly 10K on this one. Proster meter seems to concur. So now we have the 100K resistor. The Proster meter there is saying 100.2K. As you can hear, both of the meters have the auto power off function, and they're both complaining at me. So we have to turn them back on just so they don't turn themselves off. The Neoteck is saying 100K exactly. Final resistor test is a 1 megohm resistor. Neoteck is saying exactly 1 megohm, and the Proster meter is saying 1.001 megohms. Okay, so now we'll check some voltages. I just have a little Duracell AAA battery here. The Proster meter is saying it is 1.6 volts. It is a brand new AAA, so that sounds about right. Neoteck is saying 1.606, saying 9.2, 9.32, something like that. 9.32, yeah. 9.28. 5 volts. Let's see what it comes out as. Proster's giving me 4.97, and the Neoteck's giving me 4.99. We have the 3.3 volts here as well. Let's see what they're gonna come up with. Neoteck is saying exactly 3.3 volts. Proster saying 3.31 volts. So the component tester is saying that this capacitor is 477 microfarads. There's a little bit of jumping, but we're going to say it's 477. So the reading's very fast on this meter, so that's a good thing. It seems to be hovering at about 470. And the little component tester is saying 102. Let's see what the Neoteck says. Now we have a little 10 microfarad capacitor. The component tester says 10.59. Now, of course, make sure you discharge the capacitor between tests. This doesn't drop down into the picofarad range or anything. It doesn't seem to have a way to manually change the range there. So this is saying 008 microfarads. So microfarads is as low as the Neoteck can read. I don't have anything hooked up to test the amperage. The one test I did forget to do was the continuity test, to see how good the continuity tester is. I have the Proster leads from my Proster multimeter. Got it set to continuity. It's fairly decently responsive. It's not terrible. It's not great. That's all the testing we can actually do on the Neoteck meter here. I do want to take it apart though. Very little overlap here between the top and the bottom of the case. It would be nice if that was a bit wider, like on the Proster meter. So you can see on the shunt here there is some solder stuck to it and there's a little nick out of it. I don't know if that's intentional. This one, just like the Proster one, looks like it's calibrated with potentiometers. Got a big buzzer here. Lots of resistors. This little blob here, which I think is going to be the exact same chip underneath as in the Proster meter. Lots of diodes. Looks like there's only one PTC in here. I'd say the build quality certainly isn't as good in this one as it was in the Proster meter. I don't think I would want to use this for very much current reading at all, really, because there doesn't seem to be much protection in here. But considering it was a $20 meter, it's probably to be expected. So that's a quick look at the meter here. I'll also go like this and turn on the backlight so you can see. Respectable backlight. Seems to work just fine. So it's an okay meter. It's pretty cheap. The best part was that it came with the alligator clips. Aside from that, I much prefer the Proster meter. It's possible that the design changed on the Proster meter as well and is the same as these. I wouldn't recommend it, but it's not a terrible meter. I mean, as long as you're not planning on doing huge amperage measurements, you should be fine with it. Just be careful. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Tinkering with Terrius. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below or email me or tweet me. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day.